Hey y'all, and welcome to another episode of Highly Talkative, where we get high in conversation and discuss many topics from personal to community to anything that's going on in the world. So sit back, get cozy, and let me talk to you. Let's go. What up, what up, what up? And welcome to another episode of Highly Talkative Podcast. It's your girl, A. Millie. It is Monday, June 1st. Your girl's birthday is tomorrow. Shout out to all the Geminis, big gang gang. But let's just jump into it because it's a lot, but it ain't a lot. Okay, so as always, here goes the topics. We're going to talk about buying my own push gift. What else? Starting back work after 4 months off. Things to stimulate my mind. My mental health story. Single moms deserve more credit. And parents are burnt out but still showing up. All right, so topic number 1. Buying my own push gift. As y'all know, the single life chose me. I didn't choose it. I mean, kind of did, but that's neither here nor there. But it's like a bittersweet moment. I didn't get myself push gifts with my first and my second because I didn't really know much about push gifts, and of course, because I was a single mom, neither did their dads. And this time around, it's like the same thing. History repeats itself. I wish it didn't. I know better now, and I thought I knew better then, but whatever. It's just bittersweet for me because, like I said, a part of me wishes that it wasn't me buying my own push gift, but then another part of me is very blessed and happy that I can do it for myself. So, it is what it is. And then it just took a lot of time for me to really figure out like the type of push gift that I wanted. At first, I wanted a new Apple Watch, then I wanted a new Apple phone, then I just wanted to eat out, then I wanted to go shopping, then I just wanted to get my kids some stuff. It was just a whole lot of, I don't really know what I want, but I know I want something. And we're like 2 months out, and I still haven't gotten myself anything as of yet, but I'm still working on it. I just really don't know what it is that I want to get, but I know I want something. Just for the simple fact of I feel like, I don't know how to say this. I feel like I'm a boss bitch. Okay. I'm doing this by myself. I really don't ask for anything from their dads. My support system is amazing, thankfully. It's just, I feel like I'm deserving of a push gift. And if I have to give it to myself, then I'll give it to myself. Like my daddy used to tell me, never depend on no nigga to do for you what you can do for yourself. And I can definitely do it for myself. I just don't know where to start. So it's like a mix of emotions and then bittersweet because I'm like, is this, my last baby? This is why I want to do this? Because my if I have a fourth baby, it's because I'm married and we are stable and we are happy and things are great, and it's just that's the path in life that a fourth child is going to come out of. So I'm really just like, this moment I want to bask in it, and I also just want to make sure I'm doing something for me. I don't want it to be all about the kids. I haven't done anything for me too big yet as of lately. I might even want to just go on a trip. um so my emotions are just like very all over the place, but then this also gives me the time to just feel so in love with myself, because like I said, I look back on my journeys, not with just my daughter, but like my middle son and my oldest son, and I just look at how I carried myself with grace in each situation. I really just put my big girl panties on and push forward. You never see me talking about their dads on social media. I don't talk about them to them. I talk about them more to y'all, honestly. So I'm really just like, I'm deserving of this. Like, I'm going to get myself something, but what is that something? I don't fucking know. So that's just where I'm stuck at. Um, and I also kind of gave y'all like the rundown of why I'm deciding to do this. I know for some people are like, that's stupid or whatever. It could be stupid. You're stupid too. But this is just something I want to do for me. Like, this is something that is very near and dear to my heart. And like I said, I feel like I deserve it. I've been through a lot, and this is just something that I want to give to myself. Now, next topic, starting back work after 4 months. Let me tell y'all, it is kicking my fucking ass. I took, let me see, we had a 4-day week this week because Memorial Day. Out of those 4 days this week, I took 2 naps this week, and the naps were like 2.5, 3 hours, 4 hours long. They weren't naps, they were sleeps. Me and my girl was in the bed sleeping our asses off. And then I wake up at like 9, 10 o'clock up until like 1, throwing off all my whole sleep schedule, not waking up and working out. This week, not this week, last week was kind of tough for me to like get back acclimated with everything. And it was just, whew, okay, that's all I really can say. And then working from home with my daughter, really just trying to minimize costs, not put her in daycare because I really don't want to put her in daycare. And then my kids getting out of school, it was just a little overwhelming. I didn't know what to do with myself, and I really had to take moments to just like decompress because Tuesday and Wednesday we were home by ourselves. But then Thursday and Friday the boys got out of school early and then didn't have school because it started summer break. So it was like a house full of kids. Even without a house full of kids, like usually my daughter is really good at like sleep. I'm like really good at putting her down at times that I know I have important stuff to do, but she's getting to that age where her wake windows are a little bit different and a little bit more spaced out and a little bit longer than they usually would be. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I can tell it's kicking her ass too because she takes like long, mean ass naps. And when I put her to bed at night, my girl is out like a light. And that also has me waking up later than usual because we're used to waking up at like 5, 6 o'clock because her wake windows are so small and she sleeps like a generous amount. But because her wake windows are longer now, it tires her out more, in my opinion. So with that, when she's down for sleep, my girl is like sleeping long. Like last night, she slept from 12 a.m. until like 10 a.m. And yes, like in between, she had spurts where she wanted to eat and I changed her diaper, but she's sleep eating and I'm changing her diaper and she's asleep. So luckily she did not wake up. But the fact of the matter is that she's sleeping so good to the point where I'm not wanting to wake up in the morning either because I'm loving the cuddles that I'm getting for her. So it's just been a lot, and I'm really trying to get the gist of it, especially because my workload as well has been a little hectic. Like the last, like 3 days out of last week, I was in meetings from 10 to 4 because meetings and trainings from 10 to 4 because so much has shifted and changed since I was last at work. And then this coming week, this week, I have the same thing. 3 days this week where I'm in a whole bunch of trainings and meetings because there's been a lot of changes done while at work that I'm catching up with. And it's so much on my ADHD brain, and I'm more of like a hands on learner. So sitting through the trainings and then talking about the trainings and meetings, it's like helpful, but it's not helping me. Um, so I even went to like ChatGPT and like tried to drop in the links and asked it to make me like a study guide for somebody who has ADHD to help retain the information that I'm receiving because it's a lot. And I feel like I'm cramming everything in to relearn everything and relearn the new structures that are going on to the point where I'm so overwhelmed and I feel like I can't do it, even though I know I can. So I'm really just trying to find that equal median to where I'm really focusing on work, but also focusing on myself and staying with the routine. Kicking my ass, okay? Kicking my ass. And then it's like with me working now from home and my baby girl and my boys, it's like, well, I miss being able to move around the way that I used to just move around. Like if I wanted to up and go and get Popeyes at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I could still do that technically, but it's a lot more components to put into that. So it takes a lot more out of me. And then at that point, I'm just like, I don't know. So working, going back to work is like a bittersweet, satisfying, but not satisfying feeling. It's just so much that is going on that I'm really trying to get a hold of myself and digest it all and not let it overstimulate me to the point where I feel defeated and literally just give up. Um, yeah, so I don't know really where I'm standing with work. I don't know what I should do best for like my next steps when it comes to just learning the new things. And I guess I could really just take the approach that I did when I first, got hired and was going through different training and like retaining that information. But again, for me, it's a lot harder. For others, I think I could say, only because like I'm a hands-on learner. Like I want to get into the platform, move things around myself. Yes, there's like simulations that we have within the trainings, but I need like a real life case. Like I need to shadow somebody and go through the motions that they're going through and understand why they're doing what they're doing. Because vocabulary and throwing all these words at me in bolded letters and then explaining what they are, I can retain some of it, but like all of it, I cannot. And then on top of that, like taking quizzes at the end, it's just so overwhelming. And then there's a final assessment, and I'm just like, oh my God, please calm down, Keisha. I feel like I'm in college all over again. I'm trying to figure out the right notes to jot down to come up with the right answers, thinking of type of questions that are going to be asked in the assessments is just a lot. And I might be overthinking it too because of how I feel. But again, holy fucking shit. Like, your girl is going through it. Okay? Going through it real bad. So I'm really, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about going back to work, but it needs to be done because my job is like, I'm not even going to say what I want to say because I don't want them to come back and be like, well, this is what you said, but understand me, I don't mind working because at the end of the day, it's just going to help fuel me to become the future millionaire that I see myself being. And mark my words, that's going to happen. And I love that I'm saying this on air because when I come back in 2, 3 years and I'm listening to this, I can just be like, the fruits of my labor have multiplied. Like, look at me. Okay, when y'all hear me on the Breakfast Club, y'all can be like, I was listening to that girl when she had a total of 17 followers, and look at her now. I have an end goal and I'm going to get to that end goal. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't care if I'm only having one person listening to my podcast every day that I drop it up until the point where it reaches the right person and it gets the right amount of shares and I'm popping. Like, this isn't just a right now thing. This is I'm going to do this for a longevity type of thing. Maybe something that even gives my boys something to want to do, see me doing it and turn up their own podcast. Like, these are my goals. And if that's something that they want to do, even at the ages that they're at, I'm feeding into it because no dream is too big and no actions are too small as long as you're really working towards something that you see yourself like actually doing, just progressing and getting into the flow of things. So that's just where I'm at. Okay. So pray for me. Y'all just, the right people, the ones that really want to see me making it, y'all pray for me. All right, now let's jump into the next topic. The things to stimulate my mind. I want to start doing more things to help like stimulate my brain activity and things that I do to make me smarter, I guess you could say. I start back school in the fall, pursuing my bachelor's degree in business administration. Right now, I kind of took a little break, and I'm thankful that I did because the girl's kind of like overwhelmed, but I'm maintaining it. Like, I'm making this overwhelmation is not a word, but I'm using it as a word right now, my bitch. And I know I'm saying like a lot. Just bear with me, okay? Because I'm just going down a little rabbit hole right now. But as I said, I want to do a lot more things to help stimulate my brain. So I think what I'm going to start with first is like doing more puzzles. I really love Sudoku. So I'm going to try and do a puzzle a day, maybe two, just depending on like how fast I can get it done. I love crossword puzzles. I love puzzles with words where they're like jumbled up and I have to find a word to create out of the words that are jumbled. Excuse me. So that's just something that I'm really starting to try to put into my daily regimen as well. I've done like this to-do list, and in the to-do list, I always give myself an hour of me time. And I think that me time is going to factor into like doing what I'm saying on here. Um, and not only that, but I can do a lot of these at once. I don't know. if it's like an ADHD thing in me or what, but I'm the type of person that can literally do my homework, watch a TV show, and listen to music all at the same time. And still, and this sounds so fucking reluctant to say because I literally just said that it takes a lot for me to retain stuff. But if I'm doing all of that, I can still like retain what I'm doing. And it's possibly because I need a lot of things going on in the background to focus on what's going on in the foreground or like the forefront. I don't know how to explain it, but that's just how I operate. But one of the things, like I said, I want to do is do a puzzle a day. And then the second thing I want to do is read more. I have these spurts where I pick up reading and I read some really good books. And I don't think that the next book I can read will top the book that I just read. So I just like stop. And I do this a lot. Like I read The Coldest Winter Ever. I read Rosalind. I read a few other books. But it's like I'll read them and the books are so fucking good to me where to the point where I'm reading it and ironically I can see what exactly is like the imagery. And it's crazy now to explain it as I'm growner because back in like high school and middle school I cannot fucking stand English. I don't know what it was, if it was like the teachers or just me not really paying attention to what was being said, but I understand English verbiage more now than I did when I was in high school. But when I'm reading these urban fiction books, it's literally like I can see the episodes that are going on, and they're not even episodes, but what can I, okay. It's like I can literally see what I'm reading. So in my head, I'm watching an episode of a show that's really, really good, although I'm actually reading. And it's to the point where I'll read and I'll read and I'll read. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to start at chapter one and then end at chapter three. Chapter three comes, I'll take a little break, but then I'm like, damn, that shit was like really, really good. Let me go back and read from chapter three until like chapter six. Next thing I know, I'm reading like 9 chapters in a day, and 4 days go by, and the book is gone. Like I read the entire book, and then in my head, I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what else to read because this left off really good, and I don't ever look to see if there's another series or anything like that. So I just jump to the next book, not really even knowing what I'm about to read. Like I'm all over the place when it comes to reading too. I can read anything urban fiction because the imagery that is portrayed in books and it entices me. It catches my attention and I'm able to, like I said, read these books like there is no other book to be read. And then it's like I can do books about learning how to trade money, save money, grow money, and all these other things, which I haven't read a book like that in a minute. So if y'all have any suggestions, email me at highlytalkative@gmail.com and give some good reading suggestions because I need to start reading more to just increase my vocabulary, get my brain more stimulated, get more acclimated in different areas. Yeah, and then my last genre of books is like spirituality. I love reading books about spirituality because it helps me tune into ways that I've been feeling that I feel like I'm crazy for feeling that way. But when I'm reading these spiritual books, I'm like, okay, makes sense now. Like The Alchemist, love that book. I can read that book two, three more times. Osha's Intuition, love that book. I can read that book two or three more times as well. And I just want to dive deeper into spirituality books as well because, like I said, I'm very spiritual. I don't have anything against like religious people, but for my preference, I would rather just read more spiritual books. Like I feel like spirituality and religion kind of all tie into one another, and spirituality I'm just drawn to more. I understand more. I can relate more with it. Then the next thing I want to do to help stimulate my mind or my brain is listening to more podcasts. Right now, I currently listen to The Breakfast Club faithfully. That is my shit. Sometimes you can hear like I get my references from The Breakfast Club that I want to talk about things with, but I've also been listening to the Keep It Positive Sweetie podcast by Krista Renee Haslett. Love her too. Okay, shout out to my girl. I know I've told y'all this once before too, but she's an actor from Sisters in Zatima off of BET. But her podcast kind of remind me of like my type of podcast where I'm literally just on here talking to y'all. I'm getting responses back from y'all via email. I'm really taking it in. I know I have not read email responses yet, but that's something I'm going to get to. I think I'm just going to make an episode where I'm really responding to emails that I've received about different topics. But I want to listen to more podcasts, maybe something about like budgeting, building a business, so I can, learn the back ends of that. Um, I don't know really what type of genre of podcasting I want to listen to, but I know for a fact I'm still going to do the Breakfast Club. I'm still going to do the Crystal Renee Hazlitt Keep It Positive Sweetie podcast. And then from there, I'm kind of just like breaking off. Of course, I listen to my own podcast as well. I give myself some type of feedback, especially like when I'm editing my podcast and then I post it and then I go back and listen to it as well. That's just really important to me. So listening to podcasts is another thing that I really want to do to just start stimulating my mind more, get my thinker thinking, give me more topics. You never know where topics come from. Most of the time these topics really just come out of my ass. Like I'm doing something and then randomly boop, there's something that pops in my head. I'm like, let me go write that shit down before I forget. And then I give myself like bullets between the topics to like kind of discuss and I guess factor into why I chose those topics. And then the last one for me is listening to music. I never realized how informational and intriguing um, listening to music can be. I've always loved music, don't get me wrong, but as I got older, I realized like the references that came about in certain music. And sometimes I would have to go look it up, like, and understand why they said what they said or like who they're talking about when it came about them saying what they said. So now I'm just to the point where when I'm listening to music, I even tell my kids, like, run that back, listen to what he just said. And if you're not understanding what he really just said, then go Google it because that was some deep shit. So, listening to music is another stimulation that I want to do for my mind. I think that's really important because, like I said, there's just so much information that is given when it comes to music, especially by Toby Nwagi, however you say his last name. He spits out some like really educational, fire ass lines where I'm just very into it. Like, hold on, what did he just say? Let me go look that up. Oh, he's spitting. I just found like I've always loved music, but knowing that information, I found a new love for music. It's just amazing. Honestly, it really is amazing to know how you can learn different things from different ways. All right, so on to the next topic, which is my mental health story. As Mental Health Awareness Month ends, which was yesterday, the 31st. I know June is not Mental Health Awareness Month, but I kind of want to give my story some peace because, again, I've come a really long way and I know I put my mom through the ringer. But this is like a real life story, no sugarcoating. I'm going to try to make it as minimal as possible because I don't want to go too into depth into it because I feel like that could be a whole nother episode within itself. But I remember in high school, I really contemplated on doing something that I could not have reversed. And it was just because I felt like my friends weren't my friends anymore. School just wasn't going how I wanted it to go. Track was just shitty, in my opinion. Like, I was on JV up until my junior year, but I didn't feel like I should be on JV because I was throwing further than people who were on varsity, but they were only on varsity because they were seniors and wanted to get like some type of recognition out there for them to go to college. And I just kind of fell into like this depression. And I remember there was a night where I was literally just contemplating some things that I could not reverse. I wrote a letter. I had what I wanted to do like by my side, but it was like what is it, an epiphany maybe? But it was like I could literally, mind you, I graduated in 2011. I didn't have my oldest son until 2013. But when I was going through this like moment, I was literally thinking to my like I was about to do it, and then it was like I seen this vision, and I could literally hear my oldest son's voice in my head just saying, "Mommy, don't do it. You want to meet me. You want to see what your future is like. I know times are hard, but don't do it. Don't do it." And as bad as I wanted to do it, I did not. Like I said, I had the letter written out to my mom and everything. I put the letter on her dresser. I was literally going to do it. And then I cried myself to sleep that night and then got up the next morning and went to school and completely forgot to take the letter off of my mom's dresser. And she contacted my counselor in high school. And shout out to my counselor because she was really there for me. She talked me through some things. And then my mom the next day, took me out to eat. And we kind of just talked. And I literally just put it all out there, like told her how I felt like I was a fuck up and how nothing was really going my way and how all the feelings that I had that took me to the point where I was almost okay with doing something that was irreversible. But I'm very happy that I kicked that. And I'm very happy that for whatever reason, I could hear my oldest son's voice in my head telling me not to do it because the life I live right now isn't where I want it to be, but I would not change it for the world. It's not terrible. I'm in a great place. My kids are happy, healthy, and fed. They don't want for anything. And I really just couldn't imagine my life being as good as it is right now. And I'm just glad that I persevered. Like I didn't fall victim to that situation and I really just grew. And every time I have like a moment, I really look back on on that year and I give myself so much kudos, so much grace because like I said, I'm not going to say that was the easy way out, but I really could have done it. And I'm just glad that I didn't do it because I've experienced so much and I've loved every moment of what I've experienced. Minus losing my mom. That shit sucked. It still sucks. I miss my mom so fucking much, but I see her in ways almost every day. She hasn't came to visit me in my dream yet, but even Sunday, like I was feeling kind of good and I looked out my window and boom, there are cardinals in my front yard under my tree and I'm just like, I see you, mom, come through. But yeah, so for anybody out there who kind of gets the gist of what I'm saying. If you need somebody to talk to, please email me at highlytalkative@gmail.com. You don't have to go through it alone. You're not alone. I promise you, it might suck right now, but things will get better as long as you are willing to put in that work to get better. Okay, we're going to get off that topic. Okay, let's jump into another topic because that was a little heavy, but not too heavy because I didn't go too far into it, but you guys catch the drift of what I was saying. Single moms deserve more credit. Okay. And I say this because I'm a single mother myself. And I chose to be a single mom because I dare not chase a man or a nigga just because we have a kid together. It's not about being together, it's about having a healthy relationship for our kids together. And if we can't do that, then you can really just leave me the fuck alone. Like, I even seen a post on Facebook where this guy was like, ladies who be like, I can do this all by myself. I don't need no help. Be quick to put somebody on child support. No, not me, not I. I don't want you to have any type of rights to my child. None whatsoever. Okay. And I say that because you only have one time to show me how you're really going to move when it comes to bringing a kid into this world. I know you don't carry the kid and I know you feel like you don't have responsibilities, but I set boundaries and I let it be known what I expect out of things. And if you tell me that that's not how you are, but your actions are showing me that that's exactly how you are, I'm not dealing with it. And that's a me thing. I choose not to deal with it. I don't want the drama. I don't want to have to put myself through that. I don't want to have to explain myself to anybody. If I want to get up and go, I want to be able to do that with my kids. If I want to get his passports, I want to be able to do that because they have my last names, not yours. That's just something for me, right? But I say single moms deserve more credit because we literally do everything alone. Yes, I'm very thankful for having the support system that I have, but my support system is not with me 24/7. My support system is not at home with me, i.e., like last night when I get home and I'm trying to decompress, but my daughter is tired, so she's fussy and she wants to eat, but she's not eating because she's too tired and she's fussy. And then I have my oldest son who wants me to verify my identity through Roblox so he can buy some Robux. And I have my youngest who's in my face that wants my identity so he can download a different app. And it's just like, oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious, if y'all don't get the fuck out my face. Of course I didn't say that because it's not their fault, but I'm literally like, oh my God. Y'all, please give me a second. Like, y'all don't need this done right now. Right now, I need to tend to the littlest one who can't tell me anything, who I have to really soothe, coddle, nurture, and all the things so she can go to bed. And then I can get with y'all, but y'all are in my face and it's making me want to tell you no, because I know y'all can see what I'm doing right now and how much stress I look like I'm under and how much I'm doing. And then you're coming in my face and you want me to help you with a video game or buy some Robux or VCs for a video game. Please move. Of course, I'm not saying that to them. That's what I'm saying in my head. But I do let them know, like, look, y'all, give me a second. Like that's gonna have to wait right now. Right now, I need to tend to your sister because she's fussy, she's tired. I need to put her to sleep. Your video games, just give me a second. That can wait. I'm not saying I'm not gonna do it, but I need a second. Okay, just give me a second and let me do this. So that's that. And that also falls into the emotional labor type of thing because I'm an emotional wreck at that time and I don't want to take how I'm feeling and project it on them. And now I'm hurting their feelings because I'm overstimulated or I'm overwhelmed or however I'm feeling. So it's like I have to be very mindful of my feelings as well as their feelings, but also be very stern on what I want done. It's a lot. And then not only that, but the financial pressure that is put upon us. I think I've even talked about this like once before, but going a little bit more into depth about it. I can understand it's not maybe just like a single parent thing, but I just feel like it's rougher on single parents because when you have two parents, you have that two income household, you can really kind of like delegate and sit down with one another and kind of try to figure out where these funds are going to go, so on and so forth, right? But for single parents and single parents with multiple kids and a single parent with multiple kids in multiple sports, it's a lot financially. Um, and just very thankful, like I said, that I have the village that I have and I have the resources and everything like that I have. But even with having all of that, it's still stressful because I don't always want to ask for help when it comes for registration, or I know it's a lot when not just one kid, but two kids are having fundraisers. So it's like, it's just a lot. And then sometimes I can reach out to the grandma or to the grandma because it's the only one of my children have a really good grandmother. My oldest son's grandmother ass. My youngest daughter's grandmother, I don't really know them. So it's really like my middle son has his grandmother. And this is another reason why I really, really, really miss my mom because she just really supported them in all their endeavors. Like she never faltered. I could literally say, Mom, can you watch them so I can pick up some extra shifts because this registration is due and I just want to make sure I have enough money for it. Next thing I know, she's texting me registration is paid. Very thankful, and I've always been thankful for that, even like when she was here. But the financial burden is just a mess. And my oldest son's dad is on child support. I did put him on child support when I was younger, just for the simple fact of I wanted to have rights when it came to him. I wanted something set in stone to where we had some type of court ordered documentation stating that I was the full parent. His dad just had custody and he had him on these days. So if he ever just decided to like up and take him or not bring him back when he was supposed to, I can pull out this paperwork and say, look, X, Y, and Z. Now, my oldest son's last name is hyphenated, although his dad is not on his birth certificate, so I don't really think I have too much to worry about there. But my middle son and my youngest, my daughter, I didn't even care to go through the process because I'm just like, I don't want y'all to have rights at all. Like, you already showed me what was up. I don't want to put myself through that. I don't want to have to come to you if I want to get a passport. I don't want to have to do any of that nonsense. Like, let's be so fucking for real. Been there, done that, learned that lesson. I'm not doing that. So it's just a lot of moving pieces, a lot of stress. But again, I would not change this for the world. My kids are amazing. I love everything that they do. I love how active that they want to be because let's be honest, they really could just be at home sitting on their asses playing their games. Although, like, yes, that is kind of what they do now, but they're also active. They are playing sports. My youngest son is going to summer enrichment because his grades were like really good. So he's doing like this little STEM program. My kids are amazing and they deserve what they get, but it doesn't take away from it being a lot. Like, I can look back on the times when I was a teenager and yeah, my dad paid child support, but at the end of the day, let's be for real, my mom was a single parent and the financial burden on her was a lot. And even with getting the child support that she was getting, I wanted to do a lot of things. And I don't think that child support covered all the lot of things that I wanted to do, but my mom always found a way. And just thank you, mom, because I think you not see I think my mom even instilled that in me. Like, there's always a way to make what you want done to get done, but it's all about sacrifices and just learning how to move things around. So, shout out to all. Like, yes, all moms are amazing, and I want y'all to know that. But right now, we're just talking about the single moms. Okay. Shout out to all the single moms because we're really out here doing the damn thing. I'm proud of y'all. I'm so, so proud of y'all. Do not stop what you're doing because your kids are watching and one day they're going to grow up kind of like me and be very thankful that you did all the things that you did and wanted the best for them the way that you did, even though they don't see it now. Some of them may see it now and some of them may not. But do not stop. Keep grinding because I think that's only going to set the foundation for your kids to be very successful. I'm just going to leave that there because I felt like I really did that. Okay. Last topic I want to talk about is parents are burnt out but still showing up. And this all factors into everything that I was just saying. Okay. The mental overload is real, but I still show up. Like, even yesterday, I did not want to get out of the house. I didn't want to go do anything, but I woke up at like 10:30 in the morning once my daughter woke up, and I was really just in my head like, okay, I want to do something for my kids. I want to do something for them. So we woke up and went to Seven and Brew because they're opening a new one in the town that I'm in, and they were doing like this free small drink promotion. So I took them there. Then we got home, and I'm just asking them like, okay, what do y'all want to do today? What do y'all want to do? Because I know y'all don't want to just stay in the house. You want to go to a friend's house. Your friends are out of town. Okay, cool. My son wants to go swimming, but I don't want to take my daughter to any swim parks or anything like that because I don't want her around a whole bunch of just I don't want her around that right now. So my youngest was like, okay, well, can we go see if we can go swimming at Miss Tootie's house? Yeah, cool. So I do that. And then we get there and everything's cool for a little bit, but then they start stressing me the fuck out. And I'm really to the point where I'm just like, all right, get out the pool, let's go home. But I had to sit in my thoughts and just be like, okay, first of all, they're just kids. Like, they're going to bicker. It's going to be annoying, but let them have their fun. Sometimes they just have to figure it out. But also, please calm down. Like, I even had to tell my youngest, like, you say another word to me and I'm going to make you get out and you can take a nap here while everybody else is out here playing, or I'm going to just beat your ass. Like, please stop playing with me. And when I say beat your ass, ladies and gentlemen, please be very mindful that I may mean beat their ass, but I really don't beat my kids. They are so sensitive, especially my middle son. All I have to do is yell at him the right way, and he's ready to cry like I really beat his ass. Okay? It is literally just that simple. So the mental overload can be very just overwhelming. And then that goes into like the gentle parenting versus the survival mode type thing. And I kind of previously explained this a little bit earlier where I'm like, my emotions are at a 12. And just because my emotions are at a 12 doesn't mean that I get to take how I'm feeling out on them, because at the end of the day, it's really not their fault. I'm the only person that they can come to when they need something. So I have to really remember that, digest that, and just take a breather and ask them in a polite way to just excuse themselves so I can really get myself together so I can come back and show up and be the best mother for you in that moment. And sometimes the survival mode does kick in where I'm just like, oh, sometimes I do yell and I feel bad afterwards. And I have to go back and apologize because, again, it's not your fault. But holy fucking shit, somebody send help, SOS.
SOS on site. But I'm in therapy, and I'm also just learning, like I said, to just give myself that time and ask them politely to just give me a second, because that's what I really need. And then I can show up for you. Overstimulation is a thing. I think we all go through it, some more than others. And you just have to allow yourself, like I said, that moment to just step away and get yourself together, decompress, and then tackle whatever obstacle or action is in your way. It can be done. Don't feel bad. Just give yourself grace and time. And then the silent guilt that we carry. Example, like I said, when I yell at them, sometimes in that moment it feels good because I feel like I'm getting my emotions off. But then afterwards, I feel so guilty because I'm like, girl, first of all, you didn't have to yell at them. You didn't have to yell at them at that. Now you probably made them feel like shit. Oh my God, what are you going to do? And that guilt to be carried is so crazy, especially when you are a single parent and you don't have anybody to turn to. I'm really just like digesting it all by myself. And sometimes I can snap out of it. And then other times I need to like text my best friend or my cousin, or even sometimes my sister, which I love that relationship has changed, and kind of like express how I'm feeling, because I don't want to be alone in certain situations. So I'm really just like, somebody help me, please. Period. But that all just factors into, not even factors, but at the end of the day, that doesn't take away from me wanting to make memories with my kids. I feel like that is so important. The pictures, the time spent. We don't even have to spend money. Like I said, yesterday when we went to Tootie's house and we just went swimming and I was allowing them to have fun, I feel like that creates core memories, especially because my son's best friend's older brother had came home and he had his group of friends. So all of them are in the pool playing basketball, just having the time of their lives, having so much fun. And me and Tootie are on the side with baby girl. And, we're just having fun, having conversation. And days like that I really cherish because we didn't have to spend money to have fun. We spent time as a family and still had fun. Pictures were taken for memories, and even without the pictures, my kids are going to remember that day. And I just feel like that's so important. Like, yeah, spending money to make memories is fun, but it's all about when you don't have to spend money and you have a really good time and it creates those core memories. Example, my kids and I, when I was still pregnant, we had a karaoke night and that shit was so fun. We're rapping, we're singing, we're doing all the things on the mic, on the radio, in the living room, and we're having a ball, like literally laughing and singing and just having a really good time. So I say that to say making memories is so important to me. Anything from something so small to something that is ginormous. Those memories are going to last forever, and those are going to be things that they can take with them, material things you can't take with you. This is going to be something that they can take with them and cherish forever and really look back and be like, Mom, you remember that time X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, oh, hell yeah, that shit was fun, type thing. So, parents, dads, moms, single dads, single moms, auntie, uncles, whoever is taking care of the children, don't stop. They need y'all just as much as we need them, and we may not know that we need them, but everybody is needed. Yes, some of us go through much more emotional strains than others, but if you have a village, reach out. Don't be ashamed or scared to reach out and just tell somebody, hey, I need help for a second. Even if that's a, hey, can you come watch the kids for an hour just so I can get out the house and go for a walk, clear my mind? It can be something so simple as that. But no, you have to be the best version of yourself so your kids can get that version and not live in survival or out of fear because we're always on edge. Make sure you take that time out for yourself to really love yourself, nurture yourself, cater to yourself so you can be the best version of you, so you can be a good, great version for them. And I think I'm just going to leave that there because, again, clock that. I did that. Okay. And as always, y'all can find me on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, for streaming. You can also go to rss.com and type in Highly Talkative Podcast, and you can find the streaming platform that you would prefer to listen to me to. Also, shouting out my emails. If you have any feedback, inquiries, topics that you guys want me to talk about, anything like that, email me at highlytalkative@gmail.com. That is very and always appreciated and welcomed. Don't forget to follow my other two businesses. I have Keep It Stashy for all the works that goes into the background of owning a business, onboarding, offboarding, HR to an extent, documentation, organization, anything like that. I am your girl. You can find Keep It Stashy on Facebook at Keep It Stashy, as well as on Instagram at Keep It Stashy. And I forgot to shout out the podcast. So follow the podcast as well at highly.talkative on Instagram, and then on Facebook at Highly Talkative. And for the third business, because your girl be doing it, okay? Every stream of income is necessary over here. Follow Sassy Ash Stash, and that's on Facebook as well as Instagram. That's all things custom t-shirts, hats, backpacks, chairs, whatever you name it, I got you. Okay? The support is appreciated. Don't forget to share my podcast and my other two businesses, because one share is all it takes for me to get to where I'm trying to go. Y'all have a great week. Have a great day. Don't let nobody piss in your Cheerios. Just remember you're great. Okay? You're an amazing person. And y'all have a great week. And I'll holler back at y'all next week. Deuces.